Okay, I'm gonna do this video real quick because I posted a status on Facebook, and I wanted to make a video for it here on XY Rising, just to kind of talk about why I'm kind of shifting away from controversial issues, and it really just comes down to the whole shadow banning and content blocking that's going on the internet right now, with the powers that be, as I guess you could put it. And it's just really irritating to, like, make these videos and to see certain things get certain views and to see certain things get banned and blocked, just due to specific media narratives that want to get pushed again by the powers that be. So I'm not really sure what I'm going to turn this site into. That's kind of the reason why I haven't posted in a while. Well, actually, let me take that back. I haven't posted in a while recently because I got married. So, yeah, congratulations to me. Thank you. Yeah, I got married. So, we're still kind of working out our day-to-day married life with each other. So I got that going on, so we don't have time to kind of sit here and make videos. But once our day-to-day gets kind of happening and rolling more smoothly, and I kind of find where I want to take this channel. Specifically, I know I mentioned before where I want to take this channel, I think in another video. I'm not sure if I posted that or not, but yeah, I'm just going to drop the controversial issues as much. I'm still going to comment on it because, every now and then something will pop up into the mainstream news that the powers that be let us talk about publicly. But again, I know that they'll still suppress any sheep that jumps the pen, if I may use that analogy. So yeah, that's basically the reason why. I'm kind of gonna probably just slip in a couple of controversial issues and not really talk so much about specific topics towards, like, okay, I have to title the video, whatever, may come up, abortion, race, feminism, just whatever, because, certain keywords and terms are shadow banned. Those of you who know, I follow Sergeant Willie Pete, one of the old school black commentators. His channel, his backup channel that he posted on Infinite Wisdom has been blocked. So, and he seems to be reposting on his original YouTube channel, because he had an original YouTube channel, and then he made a couple of backups, and then his original YouTube channel got banned and blocked. So he started posting on his backup channel, which became his main channel, and then his primary channel got unblocked, and he kind of posted on there kind of loosely. But then now that his backup channel got blocked, he's kind of back on his primary channel, but not so much, because it's like this dude had hundreds and hundreds of videos talking about all sorts of different issues and responding to different topics, and it's basically all gone now, just off of getting banned by YouTube. And it's not just him. I follow some other channels like Red Ice, Europa, they talk about how, they can't post on certain topics, specifically talking about race and white nationalism. And I don't mean like the negative white nationalism where it's like, white people need to remain in control of the earth, but they'll just bring up like an actual legitimate topic, like, why are all these foreign people coming into Europe? And I'm pretty sure I mentioned this in other videos. It's like, yeah, the native land of the people should be ran by the people who live there. So, if white people don't want a whole bunch of, Middle Easterners or Africans or Westerners meaning North and South America, coming into Europe, then by all means, it's their complete right as Europeans to say, we don't want non-Europeans in here. I feel the same way about Africans. Like, Africans, if they say that we don't want Chinese in here, we don't want Europeans in here, then out they go. Same thing with Asians. If Asians are like, hey, non-Asians get out, then hey, non-Asians get out. Like, it's their land to do with what they want to do with it. And then, yeah, you have your individual countries, and those individual countries, to me, still have the same rights. So, it's still like the white nationals' right to say people need to get out of Europe, or they don't want a certain population in Europe for whatever reason. It's like that's their native land. They have the right to dictate what goes on in the place where they're from. Okay, now I know people from Red Ice in Europe may not actually themselves be from Europe, but when commenting on what goes on in Europe, they do have a leg to stand on in just general principle. That's what I mean by that. So, like they're complaining about stuff that they can't say. All my black YouTubers and commentators, like they're all heading either to Patreon or shutting their channels down, or should I say, getting their channels shut down. And it's almost like I have no reason to be on YouTube outside of looking up non-critical information. And what I mean by that is just stuff happening like in the video game market, which even politics is going into there. I follow a couple of gaming channels, and they're all starting to post about how politics has infiltrated the gaming community, and they can't enjoy games anymore due to feminist talking points. Was like I want to talk about, like, I guess I'm gonna just say like the gender fluid arguments, like binary and non-binary gender characters, male, female. It's just like video games are supposed to be like escapism. It's like you're cutting off from the world and you just want to enjoy time. Like it's the new modern meeting a bunch of guys at a bar and just chopping it up and doing whatever. It's like we can't even do that anymore without having some sort of narrative shoved down our face as gamers in the gaming community, and the gaming community is responding to it. But see, I already know that there's only going to be a certain amount of time before they get banned too, if it's not already happening. And now it's like YouTube is just filled with all this dumb stuff where it's like, how to get rich quick, or, check out how to reroute your computer to where you get Wi-Fi from a longer distance and stuff like that. It's like, and I know that's kind of still catering to my interest because, YouTube has algorithms that follow me, but at the same time, it's like, why can't people go on YouTube and converse about things like this? And for YouTube to have promoted itself as like this platform where, like YouTube, you are the personality, you are the one with the content, say what you feel. And then now people are saying what they feel. And again, within reason, meaning like non-pornographic and calling for the murder and death of people. Like, nothing illegal, but it's like, okay, no one's promoting anything illegally, and then you're still banning what they say and what they do and what they talk about. So Like how do you have a platform that has prided itself on being, essentially a public space, and then now you're not acting like you're a public space? And again, I know most people are like, well, they're a private company, they get to do what they want to do. Yeah, that is true, but at the same time, now you're being disingenuous, and no one wants to talk about that because we do have a thing in this country, specifically America. So I know YouTube is technically a global company now, but I'm saying, like, as far as Americans who want to shout, First Amendment, and they're a private company, they don't have to abide by the First Amendment. It's like, okay, well, we do have false advertising laws, so can we hit them with false advertising? Like, you promoted yourself as this, and then now you're not this, but you still act like you're that. So do we shut you down because, hey, you said you were a public forum in which people could do whatever they wanted to do, and people are doing whatever they want to do that's not illegal, and you're not letting them do it? And then that just goes into shadow banning, which is, you can post something on there and it's, public from your perspective, but it's actually not public from the fact that people really can't see your stuff unless they specifically go to like your page and look up that particular video in the sense of YouTube. And it's like, well, we really can't have any, sort of discussion in comment sections or kind of organize any sort of real, grassroots movements if that's going to be the case. And that's my biggest problem. And like, that's why I feel like YouTube is for, like, you can use Facebook for it. Facebook's kind of just, a place to keep up with your friends as far as my age group is concerned. A place to keep up with your friends. And yes, it's kind of divulged into a political platform where people just spout off, whatever. And there's this whole fake news movement. It's just, like, it's out of control. And, like, the banning needs to stop, but nobody's going to stop it because it's like, the conservatives want the liberals banned, the liberals want the conservatives banned, the moderates either want everyone to say what they feel so that they can kind of get an accurate view as to what's going on, or the other moderates want everyone banned because they just want to, talk to their friends and not be bothered with, political statements. They just want to see, Julie went to the store today. Stacy is walking her dog. Like, like the original Facebook, like the first year or two it was out, maybe even 3 years. They just want to see those stupid, superficial statuses and updates like that. It's like, all right, well, whatever. But, I don't know, man. Like, I don't like where this country's going. Some of the information that I was collecting, not to the fault of any social media sites or community forums. But like I've lost information just due to kind of hard drives crashing back in the past, and I haven't gone back and re-uploaded it. But I really can't re-upload it because some of them were like, again, they were news interviews that like I can't find anymore, or like the people have been banned. Like I'll admit it, like Alex Jones was a hot source for me when it came to the people who he had on, because mainstream media wouldn't interview these people. And finding that information is like impossible now, because hashtag Alex Jones has basically been banned off of YouTube, so I can't even go to YouTube and download people who've mirrored the videos or re-uploaded the videos, that like laid out the foundation of how the powers that be operate. And I already know it's come to a critical mass. People are kind of awake now, and it's like, okay, they hit that critical mass point where it's like, okay, uprisings are going to start and the powers that be are going to lose power, and they don't want that. So that's why they're doing all these shadow bans and content blocking, and then acting like they're not doing it, or it's, oh, sorry, we only shadow banned these two popular Twitter feeds or Twitter personalities or YouTube personalities or posters or users, and it's like, no, you're posting, like, you're blocking those users, you're blocking the hashtags, you're blocking the trends, you're blocking, like you're using the algorithms to block the searches, and the it's like you're like they're blocking everything, and it's just like, okay, well then what's the point? And they're in a position to where like we can't do anything unless we meet in person, and it just is what it is. So yeah, that's why I'm letting that's why I'm letting like a lot of the controversial topics kind of just be plugged into the videos that I do. Like, and yeah, I know they can get flagged and whatnot, but like I'm not a big YouTube presence, even despite having help when we first started, and everyone's kind of gone off and done their own thing. But it's just, this isn't America anymore, and it's like, and I've realized that for some time, but it's kind of like I always kind of imagine myself like fighting loosely, or being one of the people on I'm gonna say the front lines, because like I don't go to protests anymore, and I really don't do meetups or anything. So yeah, it's just like I'm not gonna say I give up, because I still talk about this stuff to people in person, because I still feel as though like that's the most effective way to get things done, is talking about it in person and starting, I'm gonna say movements, but just spreading ideas like that, and just leaving it at that, because posting to social media is like going into an empty room or a room of people who aren't paying attention and yelling, and then walking back out. It's like, oh, what was that about? And then they just move on, and that's essentially where we're at. Largely, not just this channel, but it is what it is. So yeah, that's really all I gotta say. I'm at work, and I just had a couple of minutes of quiet time to make this video. So that's my video, John from XY Rising.